Hey everybody, what is up? This is Kirsten here. Thank you so much for joining me on this new episode of the Balanced Vibes podcast. Today we're talking about coaching and how you can set yourself up for a successful relationship with a coach if you choose to hire one. And this podcast episode is not to sell you anything, it really isn't. It's honestly about sharing with you what really matters, what is important, and how you can make sure that you get the most out of your work with a coach. And I'm sharing this also because I have had a coach for many, many years now. I have different coaches over the past 5 years, and I've learned many things. So I want to pass it on to you, and so that you can make the most out of this relationship with your coach. So first, I want to say that I've had coaches since 2017, and there's been several people, and with some of them, the relationship has been better, the results have been better, and with others, it has not been that great, but it's always been worth it for me to do it because I've learned something from every single experience. So mostly I've had business coaches that have helped me with my online business, and I've also had two kind of health stress coaches, I would say, some chronic pain coaches. And so it's been 5 years, and I think I will always have a coach. I really do think so. So why am I doing this? And I think why it should be useful for you too, because we don't have to figure everything out ourselves. There's so many things that we probably want to do, or maybe even if we don't have so many things, we have a couple of things that we want to do and we want to do them really well, and we need help. So could we not go and figure everything out ourselves? Sure, yes. So let's say that you have body composition change goal and you want to do it with macro tracking and strength training. Could you go online and get a bunch of free resources figured out? Yes, you could. Actually have some really good resources for you. My Lean Ladies Calorie, Protein, and Workout Guide is one of them. Excellent. Also, my Fit Physique Formula Protein Guide. Excellent. So you could use these resources, get really consistent, and start getting amazing results. Totally doable. But then sometimes you need accountability, and sometimes you need more knowledge, and sometimes you just can't find, like, you can dig everywhere and spend like hours and hours and hours, but it's still hard to find that information. Eventually you will find it. Let me tell you, you can get answers to every question. I really believe so, from the internet right now. Now the question is just, do you want to do it? Or do you want to sort of outsource it? And I personally have always had help with my business, like I said, since 2017, because I'm not a business guru, but I do want my online business to go well. So I am sure that I have gotten so much better results because I have worked with these people versus trying to do everything just by myself and alone. And, as much as we want to believe that we are so good at everything, we are, and we can figure out everything. Yes, we can, but do we always want to do this? So this is why I've been working with coaches. And a funny story I want to say here, of course, coaching always requires investment, financial investment, energy, time, and all that. But speaking of financial investment, yes, it costs you money, and that's why I want to be sure that this is really a good fit. The person that you're going to work with is going to be a good fit. But also, sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable, very uncomfortable to make that investment. And when I first started working with my first coach in 2017, in order to be able to afford that, I had to sell my only vehicle that I had back then, which was a scooter or moped, I guess. Which one is that? One of them. So I had just that. We didn't have a car, and we had bicycles. So I had to sell my scooter in order to be able to afford that coach. This is how badly I wanted it. And that it was good, it was helpful, it wasn't maybe like the best money I have ever invested, but I got started with it, and this is what I've been doing. And now, like I said, there's been some coaching relationships that have been absolutely great, getting me great results, and then there's been others that have been like, okay, it was a good experience, but it wasn't absolutely amazing. And so based on these things, I want to share with you how you can make sure that you get the best results possible. All right, so it's going to be like two parts here. First of all, I'm going to tell you what to look for in a coach, how to do your homework, and then second part, what you should be doing as somebody who's being coached, because you just can't be sitting there and the coach cannot do the work for you. The coach is there to guide you and to help you, but you are the one who's going to put in the work. So first of all, what to look for in a coach, how to find a good coach. definitely make sure that you do your homework and that you follow this person for a while, no matter where you do this, whether it is her or his, I'm going to use her here, podcast or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or in person, whatever it is. And you know this person, you feel like you really know this person pretty well and what they are about, what their personality is like, and then see, do I like this person? Is she somehow inspiring? Is she motivating? Are the things she's talking about helpful? Have I found it helpful? Have I gotten anything like free and helpful? Right. So these things are important. And can you see yourself working with a person? Because if there's some kind of like a big mismatch, that is like it's like a turn off. Like, I don't know, I can't do this. For example, what would be a good example? I don't know. For example, if you what would be a great, okay, let's say that you are a runner and you train for marathons, and then you find somebody online who is mostly talking about strength training, then this is probably not a good fit, right? This is pretty simple example, but it could be also something like the coach that you are, following, looking at their stuff. They are like big into like animal protein and making sure that you get your protein from there. And you are like hardcore vegan. So it's probably not going to be the best fit. Or it can be like a lifestyle thing. Let's say that you see your coach sometimes has a little bit of wine here and there, and you're like, absolutely no, never alcohol. I think this is a bad thing. This is the wrong thing, Or it could be something like you can resonate with better. Let's say that the coach has 3 kids and you have a lot of kids too, and you feel like, okay, yeah, I can get that. She probably knows what she's talking about. So like, look for things like that. Are they a good fit? Are they a good match? Do you see yourself getting along with this person? Because you're going to spend a lot of time with this person, especially if it's a one-on-one coaching, but also if it's a group coaching. So make sure that you actually like that person and you find her inspiring and you feel like you two could really get along. Now, the second thing, what to look for in a coach, in my opinion, and this is not a rule, but in my opinion, it's really helpful if they offer you a introductory call. I personally am not a fan of just asking, pay me money without introducing myself, without getting the idea of like if this is a good fit. And I think it's fair to give everybody the opportunity to chat for 30 minutes to an hour to get to know each other. Okay, what are your goals? How do you think I can help you? What have you tried? To have this conversation, because that gives you the opportunity to understand if you two would get along, if you think that this coach would help you. And it also gives the coach the idea, can I help this person? And that's, of course, like on a professional level, but also on a personal level. Do I feel like we would be a good fit? Just like I mentioned before, could we get along? And you understand that pretty quickly on that 30 to 60-minute call. And that's why I think it's a really good idea if you feel like you want to work with somebody, but it's nowhere on their website or Instagram that, they offer this call, ask them, can we have a chat? I would like to get to know you. I personally, like I said, I don't start a coaching relationship with anybody that I haven't talked to for at least like 30 minutes. So I understand what they need. And a lot of the times these discovery calls are 60 minutes. And this is helpful for everybody in this relationship. Okay, then getting more specifically into macro coaching. Now, this previous 2 tips were like whatever coaching you're looking for. I think these are important. But now talking about macro coaching more specifically, let's say that you decide that you want to lose body fat or you want to build muscle, you're going to work with macros. And now if it's like some kind of cookie cutter program that a person, just a coach online gives you, then I would say don't get involved in this, because your coach should always ask you about your current lifestyle. What are you eating right now? What are you doing right now? How are you training right now? And not only right now, but also several, let's say 2-3 years, your past dieting history. What have you been doing? Because this is critical. This will give your coach, macro coach, an idea of where your metabolism is right now. Because you know that I talk a lot about reverse dieting and how this is necessary for those who have been in a calorie deficit for too long. But now if the person, your coach doesn't know that you've been in a calorie deficit, she's going to give you totally wrong numbers. And also the other way around, if she doesn't know that you've been overeating for a long period of time, she's going to probably give you wrong numbers also. So your coach should ask you your history when it comes to your diet, when it comes to your lifestyle, when it comes to exercise. And she should also ask to see your current eating. I always ask everybody to show me this 5 days of their current eating, log everything into my fitness pal. I take a look, and that will give me an idea of what is going on and what they will need next. That will help me to get to put together the best plan for them. And then continuing on the same topic, like macro coach, if you work with nutrition coach or macro coach specifically, what to look up for is your coach giving you crazy numbers and crazy workout plans that are just no better than diets, basically, because they are just too low. Sometimes I hear from people who have been have been put on a really low calorie diet and been told to do a lot of cardio. You have to look up for that, because this is not healthy. If your coach takes your calories down immediately to like 1200 and makes you do like 3 or more days of cardio a week so that you can lose weight fast and fat fast, then this is not going to be a good fit. This is not going to be what you want, even though if you first get like quick results at the end of this coaching period, you're going to be in a pretty bad metabolic damage situation. And then this coach is not probably going to be there to help you out of it, because you didn't probably even realize what happened, probably not very much experience, doesn't know how harmful this could be, and they just don't know what to do. So look out for that. Keep an eye. If it's something absolutely ridiculous, your number is going to be very low immediately, you're hungry all the time, then this is not probably a good experienced coach who can actually help you. Okay, so we talk about 4 things. First of all, what applies to every coaching relationship: find somebody that you like, follow them a little bit, see what they're doing on social media, and feel if you would be connected to them. Would you two get along? The second thing, make sure that there's an intro call so you can get to know them and the coach can get to know you. And then when talked about specifically about macros, then your coach should ask you about your past history, what's been going on, what you're doing, and what you're doing right now. And also, she should not put your numbers too low, because this is not going to be healthy for you. All right, so now let's talk about what you should be doing as somebody who is looking for coaching, who's on the other side of it. So first of all, let's say that you've had this introductory call with this coach, and they're thinking, okay, should I snap? Should I not? I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay, cool. Like, coach maybe gives you, 2-3 days. Let me know by then, and then I know. But the coach wants to know if you're in or out. And this is something that I actually see quite a bit. People just disappear. So my point here is that do not ghost people. Please don't ghost people, okay? That's going to be later in when you already have started your coaching too. If the deal is that you're going to check in every week, you're going to check in every week, and that's expected of you, right? So make sure that you understand that if this is the deal, if this is what your coach tells you every week, we do a check-in, you got to show up for it, because you cannot get results if you just half-ass this and you're not showing up. But also, already before that, if you just had let's say you had the discovery call and you're telling somebody that I'm going to let you know by Friday, please let the coach know by Friday. Are you in or are you out? This is a big thing. Like ghosting, disappearing, we can't do that. This is not okay. And I don't know why this is. And I think this is probably because people are scared to maybe hurt other people by saying no. But let me tell you, a good coach can handle a no. It's okay. It's okay if you don't feel like this was a good fit for you. If it's okay to say that it's not like financially right now the best time for me. It's okay to say, I just don't think that we would be a good fit. All this is okay, but just don't ghost people. This is just really I don't know what the right word be. It's just not nice. It's not a good thing to do, because there's another person at the end of this thing and she's waiting for a response. So please don't ghost. Okay. All right. Then the next thing that you should be doing as somebody who's being coached is understand that you are committing to something now. So be 100% involved in this. This is for you, right? So do the work that you have been asked to do. And if there's something that you don't understand or you're not sure about, you should be able to ask your coach everything. And you should never feel like your question was dumb or it was stupid, or I don't know how she's going to take it, or maybe she doesn't like my question. You should never feel this way. So make sure that you ask everything and then you commit 100%. You can ask questions, but don't think every single thing that you do, is this right? Is this right? And go maybe ask other coaches. This is not a really good strategy. If you have questions, ask your own coach and ask for deep answers. Then if you don't feel like something is not maybe right or should be done differently, ask the questions, but don't go other places and go discuss things there. This is what you have This is why you have this relationship. It's kind of like in your romantic relationship. You don't go and discuss the things between you and your spouse with everybody else in the world. You can ask your spouse, at least you should be, right? You're also not going to necessarily Google answers like what might be going on in my spouse's head. You don't do that. You talk to them. So I think the same thing should be with your own coach as well. The next thing, be coachable. Be coachable. So do the things that you have been asked to do. I guess this is kind of like what I just said, but like second guessing absolutely everything is not helpful, or like trying to do the things your way, because then again, like, why are you paying this money? Why did you commit if you want to still do things your own way? And a good example of that is, again, reverse dieting. When people start like pushing back, like, nah, I don't think I should be doing this. At the same time, I see clearly that they have been eating very low calories for a very long time, and the only way to go here is to do a reverse diet. And they're like, I don't know, but I've never heard anybody else say that, and no diet ever does that. I've never heard about this before. This is not going to be helpful. You're not being coachable if you are doing that. So sometimes you just have to accept that it's going to be different, and you have already maybe tried 7 million different things and it didn't work. Why not to give this a shot? And this is what you signed up for. Okay, and now coming back to more like macro specific things, like I said earlier, a coach, a macro coach should ask you what you have been eating, how you've been doing in the past several years, and what you're doing now. And she will likely ask you to show her your food logs. And like I said, I always ask everybody to show me 5 days of their eating, and I'm asking them to put it into MyFitnessPal so that I can see it. And those 5 days should not be like, let me make this real pretty. Let me impress my coach. This is not helpful. What your coach wants from you is to get real data, what your eating looks like in real life. Not like, I'm going to clean it up. I'm not going to have any ice cream, any chocolate, any of the sweet things that I typically have. The next 5 days, I'm going to be so good. I'm not going to have any of that, right? Or I'm going to follow these calories that are going to be like X number, even though before I didn't do that. What these 5 days are for is so that your coach can get an idea where your metabolism is, where your habits are right now, what should be adjusted. And this is actually very timely, because just today, a new person who started with me, she sent me a message that she said, okay, a lot, but last night I was actually really hungry, but I tried to stick with my calories, so I went to bed hungry. I said, what calories? We don't even have a goal for you yet. So she had just taken like MyFitnessPal's like generic calories, and then try to follow those, and she went to bed hungry. So that means that now she was eating a lot less than what she typically eats. So maybe she would have had a small meal, or at least a snack that would have been 200, 300, 400 calories, but now she didn't have it. So the data gets a little twisted, right? It's not real data that I'm getting now from her. So make sure that you don't make anything pretty. Your job is not to impress your coach during this 5-day period, and just be as real as possible if you want to get the right plan. Because remember that your coach is going to put together your plan based on those numbers. So if you sort of like, even if it's not intentional, but you lie, I don't want to use the word lie, but you twist the numbers or you tweak them and make them look better. This is not going to be an accurate picture. And what that means that the plan that your coach is going to put together for you is not going to be accurate for you either, which then in turn means that you're probably not going to get the results that you're looking for. So it's simple as that. So make sure that you give the right data and not make anything prettier. Okay, so I think this is it for today. And I think this was probably helpful for you if you are considering hiring a coach, working with somebody. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. I do have my one-on-one coaching open right now as well. But this, like I said, the goal of this podcast is really to kind of like a little bit broader, a little bit bigger, so that you make sure that this is a good fit for you and for the coach as well. All right, this is it for today. Make sure to grab my free downloads. I have a lot of them. And I mentioned them before: Fit Physique Formula, your protein goal, or Lean Ladies Calorie and Protein and Workout Guide. And I also have a mini course called Starting Macros. So all these are free resources. Everything, just go ahead and grab them. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you found this helpful. And I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.